Right. Away flies. Good afternoon. So, I'm back for another basic yoga practice technique thingy. Bear with me, working class plumber, nearly 50 years old. This isn't my forte. But I've chosen a new way of life, and this is part of it. So I'm about 2 weeks in now. Stopped working, been practicing a bit of yoga, practicing a bit of meditation, and this is one of the meditation techniques that I've been practicing. It's called body scan. It's called the body scan mindful meditation technique. And it's a technique which looks for kind of tension, tiredness, pain, discomfort just in your body. And it's a great tool for identifying problem areas. Now, I've got some notes at the bottom here because this is all new to me. I'm not new to this. I'm not good at this. But I want to document it because I want people to know that anybody can do this shit. Anybody can. I'm terrified at the moment. I build bathrooms for a living, and talking to people like this and sharing myself with people, it's not kind of what I do. So anyway, body scan mindful technique with my list. So the importance of this is just, like I say, it just helps you to focus on problem areas that you can look at afterwards. And the key to it is to get comfy. Now I'm on my yard sale, garage sale, car boot sale yoga mat that I got. Cost me €1. Another one is on the way. And it's quite comfortable. It's not uncomfy lying on the tile floor. And that's important. And I'm feeling all right mentally. And that's important as well. The worst thing is to try and meditate when you've got a mind full of shit. That's really difficult. So you need to pick a point to start from. And I'm going to pick my toes, my big hobbit feet, airy toes. Seemingly I've got feet that look like they're from a hobbit, and I've got hairs on my toes. But it goes along with my Wreck-It Ralph hands, or my Incredible Hulk hands, as my kids say. Come in handy for carrying stuff, but look a little bit ridiculous on a little body like mine. Anyway, so get comfortable. So I find that just lying on my back, palms facing upwards, feet nice and relaxed. When you look at kind of yoga gurus and meditation specialists, this is how they lie: a comfortable position, just feet a little bit apart, relax to the floor, hands open, helps the flow of energy. Because if you're going to do this, you've got to get a belief in a bit of a flow of energy, that there's something helps us get better. So having got a comfortable position, found a point to start from with the hairy toes, we then find a breathing pattern that's relaxing. Now you can do this with meditation music. If you go on Spotify or YouTube, you find some lovely kind of soundtracks that you can meditate to. And when you read the titles of them, they all sound a little bit out there. Different frequencies, different resonance that help to deal with different flows of energy through the body. That's all stuff I'm reading about and learning about. But for this exercise, just need to find something that helps you relax. Led Zeppelin or Guns N' Roses probably isn't the right thing to relax to. Just something with no lyrics, just nice background music if you need it. It gives you something to focus on. So having found a point to start from, got a nice position to lie in, breathing exercise, I use yoga breathing, which is in through the nose and out through the mouth, making a bit of an out-breath noise. Gives you something else to focus on. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. All extra things to divert the attention from thinking too much into a meditative state. So just getting back to my list. So we found a position, where to start from, check your breathing, pay attention. Just pay attention. Right from the tip of your toes, down your feet, to your ankles, up your calves, to your knees, your thighs, your hips, up your torso, inside and out. So even your organs, try and visualize what's going on. Visualize how your muscles connect in your feet, and how your muscles connect in your ankles, and how your ankles connect to your knees, and then how the mechanisms work as you're going. The pain you're looking for could be anything. You might have you could get to your stomach and think, oh, I feel a bit of discomfort there, something inside. It's a great way to just get a really good feeling for you as a human being at this moment in time from a health perspective. When you find something, acknowledge it. So I suffer, if I lie down, reflexology is the study of feet, and I know that a lot of energy is stored in my feet, and I can feel upon lying down and relaxing that the arches on the inside of my feet are really tight. If I scrunch my toes up, it's not discomfort, but I can feel something. So I acknowledge that tightness. I acknowledge how that feels in my feet. I then slowly move on to possibly my ankles, my heels pushing into the floor. How my ankles feel. Do they feel tight? Any discomfort? I've done a physical job all my life, and that takes its toll on your body. So the knees, the hips, the shoulders, I can feel that they're problem areas for me. And then couple that with anxiety and stress and tension, and it's not too difficult for me to find an area that I need to put a bit of thought into, that I need to explore inside, look at the mechanism of how it works, meditate on that for a minute in a positive way. How can I repair that? What can I do to make that better? Acknowledge what's going on, visualize it, then move on to the next part. You're keeping your breath going at this time, because I'm talking, but you'd be in a meditative state, in through the nose, out through the mouth, concentrating on the various parts of the body as you go up. What's next on the list? Wait a minute. Move along. Note your drifting thoughts. Now, if you're anything like me, even though my positivity is massively raised, I still have drifting thoughts. I can tell at the moment I need to go to the toilet, so that's going to pop in there during my meditation. Maybe go to the toilet first. That might be a good one. But, financial worries, what the kids are doing, are you doing this for too long? Is somebody going to be annoyed with you? That's all going to pop into your head as you go along. And it's just a matter of acknowledging those and just moving them to one side. This is for you. This is a time for you to look at you in a positive way to help yourself. This is time for you. So acknowledge the drifting thoughts, let them come in, try not to linger on them. Let them come in and just let them escape with the next breath and focus on the next body part. What does that say? Visualize and breathe. Well, I've touched on visualizing. You've got to do it all the way up your body. And then in a moment, I'll tell you about coming back to your surroundings. So I'll just talk you through it. Don't want to be too boring and too intimidating. So, found my hairy toes. Feel myself coming down through my feet. I can feel the tightness in my feet. I know it's there. And have a look online. You can get maps for your feet. And you will be massively surprised if you've got a bad hip and you rub on the part of your foot that corresponds with the hip, you get a pain in your foot. The Chinese who kind of discovered a lot of this spiritual stuff, and the Indians thousands of years ago, pretty good at it. They're pretty good. So anyway, come down through your feet to your ankles. I can feel how my ankles are sat in the floor. I can kind of judge the mechanism going on inside. They're quite good ankles, quite strong. But as I come up my calves, I can feel the tension in my calves and the back of my knees. And as I kind of visualize how all the muscles and tendons connect, it's not easy to kind of make the distinction on why my knees have suffered over the years. In moving on, acknowledging it and moving on, I know that there's possibly some exercise I could look at or some massage techniques I could look at just to improve that area. Similarly, again, moving up my thighs, skinny legs but strong thighs, but into my hips. Now I can feel this pulling in my groin and in my hip and in my bum cheek. I can feel it. It's tender. And then pushing on, don't push on in your meditation, but afterwards, it's another area to look at for me. You know, massage techniques, stretching. One of the reasons why I chose yoga as a means of trying to energize my body and bring it back to a better state for a 50-year-old. So again, moving up my body. Do I feel anything inside? How do my organs feel? Is it possible to feel your organs? To know where they are? You know, can I feel my liver working? What about my kidneys? I think the visualization aspect is more important when you can't feel something inside, on the off chance. So you imagine that you've had a bit of discomfort in your side for a few weeks, and then as you're lying here and you're visualizing it, you might come to the conclusion that this might be something a little bit more than muscular. Maybe it's a bladder infection. Maybe it's something to look at. Visualize it, identify it, take a mental note of it. Don't worry yourself. Keep the breathing going. You're just taking note of it. You're moving on to the next part. Now, as you go, remember, this is about positivity. This is about good energy. So what feels good, think about it feeling good. So I lie here. I keep going on about being 50 years old, but to be fair, I feel fucking great for a 50-year-old at this moment in time. And I'm only comparing that with friends that I've got the same age as me that are falling to pieces. So I can really identify and focus on positive areas that I've got rather than just the negative ones. We don't want negativity. We want to flip negativity to positivity. So please concentrate on the good bits because you'll have them and you'll have lots of them. The bits that you're taking note of that may be a small negative is to look at moving them into the positive when we're done. Moving up, neck and shoulders. Neck, shoulders, upper third of the body. That's where all the stress gets collected in most human beings. We carry it like a weight. Our posture, hung shoulders, especially if we're feeling low or down or the pressure of life gets a little bit too much. We carry that here, we carry that across our shoulders, and I can feel that. You know, I can feel just pain points moving down my arm. You have an area here in the top of your forearm, and I can almost guarantee that any of you that choose to push on the joint, on the tendons, or the muscles that move down the forearm, you will find a tender area. You know, your hands are like antennas for energy, positive and negative, and not just using them every day in you know, for the stuff you're doing, washing the pots, doing the housework, going to work, but just kind of the manifested energy of the universe finds its way into our hands, and as you move up your arms, you'll feel it, especially in this point. And that's a lovely little massage to add to your to-do list afterwards. Just here, you'll find a point, just gently massage it across. It's really nice. We're back to the meditation. So find those points, acknowledge them for later, keep your breathing going, enjoy the relaxed position. Moving up to your head, keeping yourself as straight as possible, trying to open your crown chakra so the energy flows down through your body while you're doing this meditation. And there, you're done. You've made your mental notes of stuff. You know what you might have to look at later. You're feeling good because you've acknowledged the good parts of you. And now there's a really important part, and that's coming out of the meditation. Just bear in mind, you might have been lying here relaxed for 15 minutes, maybe half an hour. The last thing we want when you're in a nice, positive, spiritual state is to just jump up onto your feet and get back into doing the housework or checking the kids are okay or nipping to the shop to buy a bit. You don't want that. So my yoga teacher, she gave me a really good bit of advice. And that is, when you finish with the meditation, roll into the fetal position. So roll forwards and make yourself small. There's a reason babies like this position. And there's another reason why when people are really down and depressed and sad, they put themselves in this position. Because it's safe and it's nice and it's comfortable. And they're all positive things. So move yourself into this position, make yourself nice and small, and just relax for a minute. We're not meditating now, we're just moving out of our meditation, kind of moving back into the real world, trying not to let the thoughts overwhelm us. Just a nice, safe place before we slowly open ourselves up. So, nice, comfortable seating position, and we're finished. So, thanks for joining. Now I've got to turn it off. Again, no posh editing tools for me.